Hi, welcome back. So we started seeing AWS Solution Architect training one by one. So as part of today's class, we are going to discuss about what is Fargate, what is easier in AWS Cloud, right? So as part of this, I will explain the concepts, the introduction, as well as there are a couple of exercises also we are going to see it in the hands-on. Let's go inside. AWS Fargate, it's a AWS offering, right? So ECS, Elastic Container Service, right? So in this, we are going to create a new image. We are going to spin up some image, and we are going to discuss about what kind of advantage if we go with Fargate with the ECS, right? So let's move on the further slides. We will discuss about Fargate. We will discuss about Elastic Container Service and what is Docker. And also we are going to see Elastic Container Registry. What is the use of it? How to use and configure it, right? So let's go ECS. So basically, those who are attended Docker training session, please go to my channel and do all hands-on Docker installation, Docker custom image creation, Docker commit, Docker pipeline, Docker CI/CD. So almost all hands-on I already released. Please complete those exercises so that it will be easy for you to understand for ECS, Fargate, all this AWS based offering. And ECS, Elastic Container Service, it's a highly scalable and very fast container management, and also you can easy to run, stop, manage any image based Docker containers, because in a cluster it's a fully high-level, and we can host any of our serverless in on top of cluster that is managed by ECS, or you can launch using Fargate launch type. We are going to see what is that, right? How much, basically it's a simple, how much you are executing your task, how much you are going to pay from your packet. And Amazon ECS, you can schedule containers when you need. Also you can tag it to your task definition, and task definition, whenever there is a change, you can even link to code commit. Even we can link to Elastic Bean Stack, that also one of the serverless. We will see couple of exercise in next further classes. Elastic Container Service, it will directly eliminate, right? Being your own cluster, you will have more management headache with respect to infrastructure, right? So those are all, it will straight away eliminate, because everything will be taken care by AWS backend team, right? You only are worry about the front end part, the application part, right? Let's go. Elastic Container Service, you can use it for continuous deployments, and whenever there is a change, the latest code has to be pushed, and whenever there is a testing, only I need to test and see the experience, right? End user. So you can even no need to reserve some compute resources, because on the fly, whenever there is a need, it will scale. And even whenever there is a data received, you can use the ETL, extract, transform, load workloads, and even you can build the custom images on demand basis. And the ECS objects, you can first define the task and which cluster you want to deploy it, and in which service and which task. We are going to see it in hands-on shortly. And ECS, Elastic Container Service, Fargate, it's offering from AWS, it's a serverless. ECS, it's a highly scalable. So what is container definition, right? You can define the image, what is the image, right? And what is the tag, because each image will have, say, version 1.1, version 1.2. There will be a lot of versions, right? So each definition you can set up with what version and what kind of a configuration and what task definition. Basically, you can define the blueprint. You can say how that image will be associated with one definition, so that whenever you want to launch, you can associate to the particular definition, right? And service, this service will allow you to run whenever there is a task. The service will trigger and it will run. So whenever you run, you need to pay. Simple as that. So Fargate cluster, the infrastructure itself fully managed by AWS team, and inside that there is a containers. We no need to manage anything, right? So it will be managed and it will be executed based on the association which you are triggering from here, right? And task, the task, once you created a service, whenever there is a service configured, automatically the task will be defined. During this, you will mention all the parameters. We'll see it hands-on, right? So each task you need to define whether you want Fargate launch type or EC2, or so what kind of a launch type. So I would say first you go and launch one of the type. First you need to choose it, right? So if you go with the Fargate, the advantage is it's a completely serverless. Let me just clear the screen. And there is a three type of clusters. One is Fargate, of course it's a serverless. There is a EC2 Linux, EC2 Windows, right? ECS cluster is again, it's a logical group. You need to create a service. In that service, you can create a multiple service, 1, 2, 3. So whenever there is a change, automatically this will be triggered, right? So again, the clusters are region specific. The clusters can contain tasks, right? There will be a multiple task you can create, associate with particular task definition of each task. So each ECS cluster type, there will be a Fargate, there will be a EC2, there will be a EC2 plus Windows. I'll show it in the console itself during our hands-on. So this is the pretty much a detailed information. So if you go and create Fargate cluster or ECS, there will be a sections or information you need to give detail. Some of the information are optional, but some of them are mandatory. So services, what service you want to run in this, right? And this service allow you to run a minimum number of, but you need to attach the specific, the task definition, and it is the initiation, right? What task within a cluster, and also there is a ECS instance will be created, and metrics. So if you want to have any reporting mechanism, you need to define it clearly, and also you can schedule it. Of course, you can add tags, and you can mention the capacity, like right, even though it's going to be auto scale everything, but you need to provide, if you want, you can have capacity accordingly, because you know how much process you are going to execute, and each process you know how much approximate capacity resources you will need for those resources. So if you know, you can go for a mention or configure accurate, or you just go with some benchmarks, right? And even once you are configured, the further changes you can update the cluster. So the end user will immediately see the changes. The cluster also you can delete it. So task definition, you need to specify what Docker image you are going to execute it. And task definition, it is a necessity. You have to specify what kind of application, what is the description, everything. And also you need to have some attributes at the task level. I would say if you have everything tested in the container image, all you need to do is the container image with the specific tag, because you already have some proper documentation internally which tag will have which changes, right? This will help to define this task, right? And also there is a couple of parameters. If you don't want to go with the default, then you can go with the specific, because which each container you are going to launch it, and as part of each release, how much capacity you need, you can specify each task, right? The launch type also you can specify serverless, and also there is a Docker in the backend. The infrastructure will be maintained by AWS team, right? The logging configuration also you can enable the alert mechanism, and if you want the additional data volumes, you can also configure in this, right? So there are many more features also available. This is a pretty much a bigger blueprint. So if you are creating a task definition, right, you need to select the which launch type, EC2 launch type or Fargate launch type. When you select Fargate launch type, right, then you need to define task definition, you need to define task role, you need to select the which network, I mean the which VPC, under that what are the subnets, and what is the permission, IAM permission, and if you want you can specify what kind of a compute capacity you need for that specific task size, and container definition and service integration also you can map it. If you have any proxy related infrastructure, you can specify it, and of course the logging you can enable, and volumes also you can attach it. As per the standard, the container name, image, private repo, which repo, if it is going to be a public repo, normally it is going to be AWS based repos, ECR, and memory limits, port mapping also. Say for example your image which you are defining here, right? So this image already you have 80, right? This is the pre-recorded, but whenever you want to have a particular release, then if you think a different port mapping required, you can map the relevant ports always available. So as part of the advanced health check, still you can configure the specific health check for each task definition and environment wise. And sometimes the container timeouts will vary according to the environment, according to the each release, right? You can still control over here, and there is a resource limit, right? Normally these resource limits you can control during this here task definition creation itself, right? Let's clear this. So first you need to create a task definition, and then you need to associate all. While creating the task definition itself, you always stick with this diagram, right? So whatever mandatory you have to specify or document it, whatever optional, it is up to you, up to your current release which you are working, right? So the same we have explained in these 2 to 3 slides, and come down. There is a easier, right? So those who are not going for a channel, new to channel, so go to channel, come down. There is a very detailed Docker training series already released. So you can go to this playlist, always stick to the home page. Soon we are launching one more Cloud and Loud website, which will help you to access all these sessions in a gooder path, career path wise. So if you go to here, you will get a detailed hands-on sessions along with the scripts, along with the files, right? So if you go to the custom image classes, right, you will get a good clarity, right? So come here. So this ECR repository, there you have to go with the hub.docker.com or some private registry, right? Even if you go to Azure class, Azure training series, even there is a Kubernetes session also is there. Azure Kubernetes, Azure Docker. If you go to Azure training series, come down. So if you come down, there is a Docker Kubernetes in Azure. You will get very detailed and you will get the idea, right? So if you know this, automatically you will get a good idea while doing this Amazon container, Amazon Kubernetes. So easier is something like you want some custom image, right? Docker images, right? So but you need to keep within AWS, not to the outside world. So here there is a specific offering, Elastic Container Registry, where you can create all your custom images, Docker images, and store it here. Whenever you need to launch using Fargate, using ECS, using AKS, sorry, Amazon Kubernetes, you can take that image from here and launch as per your need, right? But the images will be here either as a private or public. That's up to you how you are creating it. We will create those images also in upcoming classes. So ECR is integrated with Elastic Container Service. Yes, I would not say it's a integrated. ECR is the container registry. You can keep all your images, right? If you want from here, you can use Amazon Kubernetes. If you want, you can use it Amazon Container Services. And if you want, you can use it using Fargate launch type, right? So let's clear out this. With Amazon Elastic Container Registry, there is no upfront fees, right? You are just storing the images, right? If you keep on add all the data, right, then you need to pay according to your data what you are storing, right? So let's go to next slide. So the benefits is fully managed. Fully managed means the backend team, you don't need to worry about any single infrastructure headache, and moreover it's secure, it's highly available, and very simplified workflow, right? So how Elastic Container Registry works? I am a developer. I am downloading some common images. I'm doing some changes or installing or uninstalling or adding some packages, or basically I'm configuring something, right? So I'm taking this as a image, creating as an image. I'm putting into ECR, Elastic Container Registry. So as I explained, now my custom image is there, right? So using this, I can able to, I want to launch now some containers in Elastic Container Service, right? So take this. I'm in Elastic Kubernetes Service in AWS Cloud. So I need to launch some container, but on top of Kubernetes cluster. So take from here. I am in some Docker container for on-premise. Take this. So this is a central repository. Once you started storing, this will act as a central hub for any of your container need. Let's go. So I'm going to keep this diagram, right? I want to show you, go to EC2 Amazon ECS and EC2, right? If you go to cluster, right? So if I go to cluster, if I want to launch anything, right? So there will be a image we need, right? So I can take it from where? Elastic Container Registry. I'm going to launch some of the containers, right? On top of EKS cluster, right? So I can take it from here. I can take it from here. So the ECR repository will start act as a central hub, right? So let's clear this, right? Let's clear this, and then we are going to go to ECR repositories. ECR repositories. It's a similar like a hub.docker.com. Similar like Azure, similar like Google Cloud. So every provider, they have their own repository, they have their own container, they have their own self-managed Kubernetes setup, right? So next class, what we are going to do is, so those who are not able to understand this theory, right? This is a simple introduction, right? So in next class hands-on, what we are going to do a hands-on is, we are going to create a small empty repository, right? We are going to create one image. Using this repository, we are going to push it, right? So once we post, using that, we are going to build one cluster, Elastic Container Service Cluster. And first we will build the sample cluster, and then whatever the repository with the image, custom image we created, now it's available, right? So with this, we are going to deploy it in our created cluster. But the difference is, I'm going to deploy the cluster, right, as a service, which means the cluster is already there, but I'm not going to pay it. If I deploy something, while deploying, I need some running task. I will have some running task, right? So for that, I'm going to pay. That is a huge advantage why most of the projects now, they are moving towards these offerings, right? So stay tuned. I will come up with more hands-on session. Please invite your circle and please support Cloud and Loud NGO to keep learn, keep grow. We'll support together. Thanks everyone.